Hello friends! So this video initially started as an accountability vlog for me about 4 or 5 months ago. What, February, March, April, May, June. Yes. I was making some big health and lifestyle changes and trying to ease myself very gently into a new normal, a new routine, including for my writing life. For context, I'd had a pretty rough summer of 2022 and then another rough summer of 2023. As my migraine and tummy issues seemed to be sort of getting worse and worse, it made things very stressful, and as anyone with health struggles know, that stress just makes everything worse. So it's a very terrible sort of like self-fulfilling spiral. I would set goals and then be upset with myself for setting the crazy goals and also not being able to achieve them. I've talked about this. I was much better about saying that I needed to be kind to myself and knowing that like very deeply to be true, but the actual practice of it was much more difficult for me. The execution was just not happening. So with a bunch of doctor appointments in November of 2023 and then following into December of 2023, I got some new medications, and despite having big plans for the final month of the year, I just stopped everything. I decided to throw it all out and basically start over. I didn't do YouTube stuff, I didn't stream, and I really worked to sort of peel back all of the unnecessary stress that I had placed onto my writing. And it should be said that some stress is good. Deadlines can be great for actually getting stuff done. You need to have specific set times to get stuff to beta readers, to your editor, to actually publish stories when you say you're going to publish them. But I was really putting too much on for no good reason. So I really needed to relearn how to write, how to create in a way that was fun. And I needed to do it in a way that was also healthy and give myself the best shot at things, even as I was still figuring out my medications and triggers and stuff like that. So this is what you're going to see. It is a journey to sort of finding a routine that helps instill confidence in me. It is a journey of adding and subtracting and just figuring out what works. So with that said, let me take you back to February. Good morning. So one of the things I've started doing is keeping my phone away from bed on the weekdays, because I apparently cannot be trusted to not look at it if it's right next to me. I've learned that about myself, and rather than try and get better, just gonna not even give myself the option. Just gonna put it away, let it charge overnight, far away. All right, I have to be quiet now. My tea's done. The water for my tea is done. I don't have cappuccinos anymore in the mornings. I wait until I have something else in my stomach, and I use oat milk now, but I have kept up the like morning ritual of the warm beverage, which I think is what I like most about coffee. I love the taste, but also the ritual aspect of it. And so now I get myself 2 teas, a water, and I am hydrated, and it's better for me, so that's fun. All right, second reading. One of the things I've been bad at is doing the evening readings, so while I'm at it, I thought about this yesterday while I was in bed, but obviously couldn't get up to get my phone and do it. Gonna set a little alarm. It's just about 8:19 now. So I'm gonna try and get my teas down me before it is time to before it's time to feed these little demons a little. I've been spending my time in the mornings handwriting, which has been really nice, but also doing a daily puzzle. Besides the daily Wordle, mini crossword, connections, then Squaredle, which I do every day. This has been really nice to have like a pen and paper version. I'm also not super good at it, so that's fun in itself too. That sound usually means it is time to feed the girls. Is it time to feed you? Do you want food? Yeah? They're a little early, but it's okay. Can you sit, Zelda? Hey, sit. Wait. Go ahead, girls. Good job. All right, 1 tea and 1 water down. I'm gonna try and finish the scene I started, and then we'll switch over to the goals for the day. The rest of the morning routine. Yeah, you're such a good girl. A little too bright right now. That's better, huh? Yeah. All right, Miss Ma'am, I hate to do this. You're very cute, but you're also very in the way. I'll just move all my stuff to the side. All right, then. You win. Three pages done for the morning. Pretty good. Oh no. Now it is time to switch notebooks to my bullet journal also. I have really enjoyed the ritual of handwriting in the mornings. And I think it's something that once I'm done with this story, this notebook, I will continue doing. I'm not sure if I'll do another handwritten novel length project, but I might do like prompts in the morning, or just like a free writing session. Maybe even like some novella length stuff would be kind of perfect. That way I'd be able to like complete a couple in a notebook. Yeah, just a fun way to activate the writing part of my brain in a different way than when I'm typing. For some reason, it makes me just stop and think about each word more. And I don't think it's bad that I go so fast when I am writing on the computer. It's certainly like more economical in a way. I don't mind taking more pauses. I don't use as many brackets. I actually just stop and think and really go over exactly which word I want in that moment because I have the time to do so. Again, that's why it takes much longer, but yeah, it's really nice. All right, let's pull a card and to-do list time. First, I was crossing through some of the stuff that I've already done for this month, as we are now almost halfway through, with like a larger glance at my month. And now I'm gonna set up my to-dos. Normally this does start on a Monday, but I got a migraine, which just kind of throws stuff out of whack for a bit. Even with the aid of my new medicine, I was still able to finish typing up the notes for Becca for her beta reads, which was awesome. And that felt really rewarding to be able to complete, and it felt validating to see like my medicine working at like the times that I expect it to work now. Just to be like a little bit slower and more relaxed about things, but still like not having to throw the whole day out, not having to throw multiple days out. And so that was really nice. And I had so much fun beta reading for her. So all I'm really hoping to get done today is filming this video. I've also started using note cards to help me place some of the clues and stuff in a closet full of cauldrons, so I'd like to get to the midpoint in doing all my note cards. And I would like to stream on Twitch today, post on Patreon for updates. Okay, 4 things on my list, and several of them can be done at the same time. I did this method kind of starting in December, and it did take me some time to figure out how to add a normal amount of things to the to-do list. Not just in terms of bullet points, like some of these have way too many bullet points on them, but also in terms of the amount of work that each bullet point covers. And even still, I don't always get everything off the list, but It's nice to see. I just move it to the next day. I'm actually following the bullet journal method. And I don't start the to-do list until each day that I'm at my desk. So like yesterday when I had 30 minutes before I got my aura, nope, no to-do list. We love to see it. And now we're going to see how many of these I can get done before I finish my tea. Finn is back and she has situated herself on my pile of note cards. I've now made it up to the B story, so I'll have quite a bit to go for the day, but I'm excited. Tea done. There's still more. Oh, thank you. Oh, you're so good. Thank you so much. That's a good girl. And I have set out some frozen strawberries for later, since strawberries are expensive right now. But I'm gonna go on a run and I want to just make sure I have some fruit for when I get back. I've been having to change my diet, not as in going on a diet, but as in changing just generally what I eat. I'm lucky that the insurance I have now covers a nutritionist appointment, and she, along with my doctor, have been super helpful on what foods I like can and can't stomach anymore, basically. And I just have to make sure that at like every meal I'm eating enough fiber. Ooh. I'm also supposed to work out to get my heart rate up more, but I think we're just gonna go on a couch to 5K run. I will say I'm a bad enough runner that it does get my heart rate up, but I'm not totally sure if it's enough for what they want from me. But it's a gentle ease into things, you know? All right, let's go run.
Hello! Congrats on another healthy choice in the books.
We just had Tet this past weekend and the Super Bowl, so the house is in a bit of a disarray. And I have found it's really nice to get an eye break, or just kind of like, even right now it's cool down after my run, but an eye break in between activities to just come and do like tiny 15-minute cleanup around the house. And then I'm rewarded by having a cleaner house. I know, all of this is so mind-blowing. But it has made such a difference to me in just the day-to-day. But this is going to be a two-parter. We got more stuff and so many leftovers. My husband is on his way home and we're gonna go on a little walkie before I start my live stream. So I'm gonna try and drink some of this and get a few more of my cards done just before then. I got book mail. You wanna help me open it, Buffy? You wanna help me open it? That is certainly a strategy. how you get the girl. Oh my god, sports romance. Fuck yes. Practice makes perfect. Love takes center court. Stop it. And this will they or won't they sapphic sports rom-com. The little basketballs. Okay, I'll stop. Yay. What do you think, Ben? Approved? Alright, the stack has gotten bigger, but I didn't quite finish. I have 1, 2, 3 left before the midpoint, but I'm gonna go ahead and take them out, and then I have a library book to get. You ready to go outside? Yeah! Whoa! And then there's this little princess who has made herself the queen of the blankets. Have you made yourself queen? While the girls are outside, go ahead and cross off that we have been filming this video and I did the stream. So as soon as I reach the midpoint, but I probably won't post today, I'm gonna go ahead and move it to tomorrow, but I will try and draft it up a little bit later. Woo.
Previously on Survive. Harvey, good. And explain how to decide.
It is now 7:22-ish. Thank you for joining me, baby girl. And I'm going to try and finish up these scene cards through the midpoint. I had dinner, went on a walk, hung out with my partner, talked to my little broski because they're coming into town right then. So, very excited. Let's see if we can do this in a decent amount of time. Well, I've reached the midpoint, or I should say just before the midpoint. This is when we get death number 2, so I feel like I can tick this off my list for the day. Hooray! Yay! Just about 8 now. I got a little distracted with some YouTube research. Not this, but other stuff, and then I made it over to the Tiny Desk concert, so. Oh, you are so beautiful. And that lets me beat my alarm by just a little bit. So now that I've been fully calmed down by my cat, I think I will go do that now. Buffy's been good too. Very cute. The cutest little girl in the world. Now, besides starting to take my blood pressure at night, I do have a kind of nighttime routine system, absolutely things that I need. One of them is my eye mask because light really disturbs me when I'm trying to sleep. I also have compression gloves for my wrists that help, and I use a little breathe right strip because otherwise my nose does not in fact breathe right. And if I'm not washing my hair the next morning, I wear a little silk bonnet so that I don't lose all of the volume from my hair, because that is what happens. And then I read my nonfiction at night. Normally I would have put my phone up already, but I recorded with it. But that's the first thing I do. Like, I don't even let myself go into my bedroom with my phone at night because I just cannot be trusted. But yes, that's my new nighttime routine, and it has genuinely helped a lot. Okay, so I'm going to show you the immediate next day to just kind of reinforce this morning and evening routine, especially since there's a bit of a twist that happens midday. I'm gonna call it, it's not so much a twist actually, as it's something that happens pretty often recently, and I do get an answer for it by the end of the video. It only took several months, but that is okay. So it goes with health stuff. The reason I have been focusing on routines more and more is they're a lot more necessary now to my comfort, daily comfort, and that's something that you know, a few years ago me wouldn't have understood. Like I can't do the I tried writing likes or the crazy experiments in the same way anymore unless they already fit into my routine. And some of them do, which is great because I still love doing them. I still love trying new stuff. And in some cases it really is still the crazier the better, but it has to come with this asterisk that didn't exist before. So it has been a learning curve, and I think it's finally fully encoded, that I just can't push myself in that same way. And so once, you know, I made peace with that, the routine is the place of comfort. It has become really beneficial so that anytime that I travel, I can almost immediately get back into my routine in a way that I never could before because it didn't really exist, right? And because I long for it so dearly that when I get off for a few days, I can really feel it. I can tell the difference. Just a page and a quarter, maybe a third today. I'm getting to a kind of big turning point in the story, like one of those early turning points where they both make a decision. Very fun. It's the kind you can't turn away from. Also, my desk is a little bit overrun, so I think I'm gonna fix that real quick. All right, a little bit better. I don't know whether to call myself a self-help fan. I'm very critical of the genre, and at the same time, I like voraciously consume it, whether that is in podcast form or book form. Sometimes there is a little nugget that really sticks with me that makes such a difference. And then other times there's nothing and you've wasted 300 pages or whatever on nothing. But fun to talk about, fun to rag on a little bit. One of the nuggets that's really stuck with me is from the book Atomic Habits, and that is habit stacking. And that is why I've been focusing on the morning routine and the nighttime routine, because I find that's the time that's easiest to add new things onto it. I already have to do so many things specifically that it kind of feels like, what's one more? And in a good way though. So I had planned on streaming today, but starting yesterday and also the course of the weekend, my stomach is doing its little stomach thing. I keep having to go to the bathroom a lot, and I don't know obviously when it's gonna just get angry. Today it's been angry a lot, so it's one of those where it's just easier to not stream so that I can hang out with my heating pad. Oh, if anyone has any recommendations for like heated blankets or of sorts, this is one I've had since I was a child, but I have some that I've made that are little heating bags that are really nice. Yeah, I had actually yesterday filmed initially. I was like, oh, it'd be so funny to like, how can I show that a big part of my day is just resolving around the bathroom right now. And I filmed once just a dramatic interpretation of it, and I was like, oh, actually this is sad. But the plus side of it is that Vin spends a lot of time in the bathrooms with me, so I get a lot of love during it. I have, however, done my weekly vegetable haul, which is good. Cooked all those. I just eat them throughout the week, and it's the easiest way to make sure that I actually get the vegetables that I'm supposed to. And now the goal for the day is to finish the note cards through the entirety of the draft that I have. And then I think probably tomorrow I'll work on putting in the like 4 or 5 scenes I've come up with that are missing. And I'm saying scenes loosely because I think sometimes it's just like a little bit of a clue that needs to go somewhere that's missing. So yes, that's the goal. And then post on Patreon. Yes. At some point I will finish editing my Prime writing weekend vlog, but not today. I found the issue, which is also the last scene I worked on, which also is what started this whole thing. This has been one of those stories that I have felt very in tune with. Now, obviously I have like little notes of like tiny scenes or clues again that I need to put in, but as soon as I was feeling off, I've now traced it back to literally the last scene I worked on, where I was like, something in this is not right. And I figured it out. That scene, I'm just going to be scrapping in favor of pushing stuff up, which makes sense because I had not accounted for 4 hours in the timeline, which had been like the scene just before it. So I feel very victorious, and also like I need to reheat my bag. Okay. The little bit of brainstorming notes helped. My new workplace. For as long as I've had a channel, I have been a huge proponent on working on multiple projects at once because I personally just find it more fun. I find it fulfilling. I think it's great to be able to switch when you get a little bit stuck. I've always found that if I'm working on one project, my brain's still thinking about the other, and that's usually how I actually end up problem solving sometimes. And I had a lot of people tell me that I would make more progress faster if I worked on one project. And I think just like mathematically speaking, that's always been true. If you only have like 4 hours in a day, if you're splitting it between two, you're just obviously not gonna move as fast. Well, one of the things I decided when I took all of December and most of January off, including for part of it writing, was that I just realized I didn't have the capacity to work on multiple projects at once anymore in the same way. As you can see in this video, I've still been doing my handwritten project, but that's just maybe for about 30-45 minutes in the morning as part of like my morning getting ready process. But my actual day-to-day work is on one project. But even with this switch to a dedicated focus on a single writing project, I've still kept my expectations really low. And the metric I use is just a kind of butt in chair sort of metric, as in, did I spend time today writing? Do I feel good about the amount of time I spent? I do it based off of, did I do my best? And that has saved me a lot of pain and sort of like self-inflicted agony. Because before I would be like, oh, I need to do X number of hours, or I need to get X number of words, or sometimes when I have a migraine or my tummy would flare up with issues or something, it just like is physically impossible to get that time done when I physically cannot work on the project. And so just truly shifting my mindset to being like, did I do my best today? So if I have both a migraine and a tummy problem, the question of did I do my best today is like, did I survive? Yes. I made it through. I'm proud of myself. Good job, me. If I had some tummy problems in the morning, but in the afternoon I sat in my chair and I got however many words done, it doesn't matter. But I did my best with what I could that day, then fuck yeah. That is awesome. It's not a no expectation. It is a true accountability within myself. And that being my day-to-day expectation has really freed me for when I do want to do a fun experiment and I decide to do, you know, a word goal or an hour goal or whatever. That is now a rarity that I then immediately shift back to my day-to-day of, did I do well today? Did I do my best? Did I try what I could? Then yeah. And also sometimes this works for if I'm just like not emotionally in it to win it. This doesn't happen a lot, which is great. I feel very fortunate in that. But sometimes when I'm like on my period or like just before or just after, when the hormones are going absolutely crazy, there are days when I just cannot will myself to do anything. And you know what? That is genuinely me doing my best as well. You know, it's okay to take that day off from writing, even if physically I could have sat in the chair. So it's just, yeah, just being really, really honest with myself. And something about taking those expectations away has also allowed me to be more honest. I'm not making excuses for myself to myself anymore. And it's funny because I don't think I saw at the time that that's what I was doing, but it's become really clear to me now when it is just so black or white on if I did my best. Yeah, it's just interesting. And this clears me to genuinely try my best as well. And sometimes I surprise myself and I sit down and my best is 3 hours of crazy intense focus and I get 5,000 words or something. And that is phenomenal, but I don't expect that every day. Sometimes my best is I sat there for 4 hours and I got 300 words, or sometimes it's I could only sit for 30 minutes and I managed to squeeze in 500, you know, like yeah. An honest accountability for myself to myself that was only possible because I started over. Now, my goal for this week is to add yoga into the routine. So I have successfully added in taking my blood pressure every night. I actually need to go do that now. We just got back from a walk. My glasses are fogging up because the temperature change is crazy. Even though I failed my couch to 5K today, I think yoga every day would be nice. I thankfully am once again able to spend more hours at the computer slowly but surely, and that just means that my posture needs some work. Successfully stretching out everything. Oh my god. I just realized that the little cat on my cat tarots. Sorry. Okay. Now it is just up to my nighttime routine really, which today, because I haven't done it yet, is blood pressure, yoga, have some nighttime tea that I'll take to bed with the book that I am reading. So let's go finish today up. Of all the habits I've attempted to add in, yoga is by far the hardest. And it's funny because I've attempted this several other times before and it remains to be the hardest. But what I have found helpful is to actually go ahead and do yoga either in the bedroom with the door closed so that the animals can't get in, because they are very, very curious about what I'm doing on the floor and why my body looks the way it does. Why I am contorting. But also we just started kind of grabbing some stuff to make a home gym. So I will have a place as well that is kind of free from the dogs and is also meant as a kind of workout station. So I think these two changes are going to be my best bet. It is unfortunate because this is like the hardest thing to replicate potentially if you don't have the space. And I always do feel a little bit bad about shooing the animals away if they're already comfortable elsewhere. But in the morning after my run as kind of a cool down, or at night before I do my skincare, has worked. Now the thing about all of these little changes is that you don't always see an immediate effect. Not all of them are as obvious as keeping my phone away from my bed at night. And so it took some months to really feel them adding up, and they needed to be tweaked as the seasons changed, as Texas got very, very hot and my nemesis summer approached. And I found that one of the things that up until now I thought I was really terrible at has actually been such a beacon of hope in the summertime, which is gardening. I think I'm really learning an appreciation for the way that the Texas seasons are, and that's kind of beautiful. It makes me feel more connected to the earth during a time that normally forces me inside, so I don't get to feel that as much. So now I have to work out in the early mornings, and then I take the dogs on a walk, and then I go to the backyard and I do a little bit of gardening, and it is wonderful. And another thing that has helped so much is, you know, modern medicine. My doctor got me some medicine for IBS, for some symptoms experienced with that, and it has been so beneficial. The tummy problems are still there, so it's still like a work in progress for things that I need to figure out, the kind of individual triggers that just don't sit right with me anymore. But my goodness, oh, the relief. Beep, 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 beep. That is time on our one and only D100 sprint. Thank you to the D100 for giving us the best number, 42. Having to go out to eat or eat while I'm traveling is not nearly as scary as it had become, so that is incredible. I'm free to eat all of the foods again, mostly. And as of this voiceover, we are halfway through summer, and it has been, I think, the best one I've had in a while. So the funny thing that I've found is that after 2 years of very inconsistent streaming, I would say, I have now found a really nice peace with streaming at the same time every day. It's basically just a comfort in knowing that I'm gonna get words in. No matter what, I have a 2-hour chunk of writing time in for the day, and mentally that is just so wonderful. If you do see me on streams running out for a few minutes, that is because thankfully I work from home, and if I need a bit of a bathroom break still, I can do that. Best part about working from home by far. Often I will work before the streams and after the streams, but really no matter what, I know that for each day of the week I'm going to be getting 2-3 solid hours of work in, and it's that kind of progress that just adds up over time. I have really become a fan of the butt in chair mentality for how I sort of track how I'm doing. The work just ticks up and up and up, slowly but surely, and actually not all that slowly, all things considered. Especially because I've really worked this year to make one focus project. That has been so nice. Unless that project is with alphas or betas or with an editor, I have one single focus. And it's not something that like naturally calls to me in a specific way. I really had to find this out over the course of this journey, but because I have sort of limited time in what my eyes are capable of staring at a screen each day, it's nice to have one project. So I'm making quicker progress in one and slow progress in others as I inevitably take breaks from that project when it is with alphas or betas or whatever. Easily one of the best things I've done for myself is reading at night with my little light. I have a nice little fancy light that is a very red light, so it doesn't irritate my eyes in the same way. It doesn't keep me up. I stick to nonfiction because otherwise I will read all night if it is fiction. I have made that mistake. And genuinely keeping my phone away from my bed is the biggest thing. Sometimes I like to like give myself a treat by having my phone with me on the weekends. And you know what happens is that I stay up scrolling on my phone. So I should just do it every night, but I'm not quite there yet. Again, we're doing very slow and steady progress here. My goal now on YouTube, rather than what it used to be, which was 2 or 3 videos a week, I actually think I need to edit some of my social media because I think it still says 2 or 3 videos a week, is just 1 video a week. And I don't always hit that. That's not always gonna happen. And it's not a stressor for me anymore. Something about taking that genuine 2 months off of posting anything really just helped me reorient the importance or unimportance of YouTube and social media, I guess, in my life, and that has been really nice for me personally. Do I still watch way too much YouTube? But that is a different question. It is still arguably my favorite source of entertainment and inspiration, to be fair. But I aim for 1 video a week. If it doesn't happen, it's no big deal. It's also just a more realistic goal than pushing myself to what I was doing when I was really growing the channel in a way. I don't begrudge my past self for the push that she had done, but I just, you know, it's not sustainable where I'm at right now, and that's okay too. Things always naturally have to shift and change. Ultimately, the biggest difference here, I think, is not just that the medications through trial and error, you know, have really worked for me. That is something that I really appreciate these doctors that I have now taking seriously and working with me on, and that is so incredibly nice. I did not previously have health insurance that really worked with me in any feasible way, where which doctors I got to see changed every year, and then the wait lists were so long each year, and then by the time I saw someone I had to change. And so it is such a privilege, and I understand, to have good health insurance in the United States, and that has genuinely made such a difference. I'm upset that it has made such a difference, but it has. And so it's nice not only that I now have medication that works for me, but also that this is just going to be a continual learning process. I know the small, minute diet changes that I've already made and I'm going to continue to tinker with are just going to help me more and more over time. This is it's a long process to learning your body, and sometimes your body changes, and so it goes. I think mentally having that 2-month break from the expectations that I set on myself was almost like a factory reset in a way. And so that also cannot be understated. So it really feels like a holistic change has taken place, and it's helped not just my writing life, but all aspects of my life. So that's gonna be it for this video. Please do comment down below. Let me know if you've been trying to make a lifestyle change, how you see that lifestyle change impacting all the other little parts of you, and also if there's been a time where you've fully understood something to be true but putting that into action was tough for you, or a long process, long overdue perhaps. I would love to know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in like a week. Ideally with a new video. Bye.